Hi everyone. My name is Emily. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey,
Hey,
Emily.
Emily.
I am calling in from Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm the program chair for Whiskey Paw Host. So we were really excited to be asked to lead this month. But anyways, so I was like trying to think about like what to talk about, share, because I honestly like hate hearing myself speak most of the time. And one of the things that's like just definitely just come up more recently and like the longer that I stay sober, oh, I do have a sobriety date. It's March 27, 2017. I can't remember I said that. Is just like balance between like work and life and like AA stuff. I was trying to get another committee person to lead tonight because I have class on Wednesday nights until 10 o'clock. And I was like stressing out about like who was going to lead, who's going to be able to do it. And then what do you know? I got out of class early. Um, and it was perfect timing for me to get on and lead this meeting. And like that's what I find is like if I stay centered, like with AA and my recovery, like everything else kind of falls apart or like falls into place. Sorry. Um, because for me, like when I was drinking, I had no concept of any type of life besides alcohol and the bar life. I was a big bar drinker. I was at the bar every single night, and during the day. Sometimes when they opened to when they closed. um, and like I thought that was like the greatest thing ever, was that I had a place to always go to. I always had unlimited drinks. People that knew me was like what I like to think of as family. Meanwhile, they were just taking my money and probably talking and laughing about me behind my back. Um, but I was fine with that. I couldn't hold down a job. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't function without alcohol. Um, and like when I think back to like when I see like my life now, I'm working, I go to school, I'm involved with, hosting a state conference, my third host committee this year, this calendar year, which is crazy. But like when I think about all of that and like compared to like what I was almost 2 years ago, it's like night and day almost. And I don't know why that's like been such a big like hot topic in my life, is like trying to balance everything. Um, because like for me, I find like the longer I stay sober, like the more involved I am with the program, like those promises, that the book talks about, like they do come true. And it's great. And I heard this quote in a meeting one time. It was like, don't let the gifts of sobriety get in the way of the gifts of sobriety. And like that has stuck with me um for since I started coming around to AA. Um what that statement says for me is like getting sober, I have the ability to like be a faithful and a good employee and like be a good student, and be just a good human being. But if I forget about why those things, happen, and like if I forget about how I able to be those things, then it really means nothing. And I'm like gonna be honest with you guys, like I'm super I'm like feeling super anxious lately. Next week, on the or might be a couple weeks, on the 19th is the 4-year anniversary of my son's father's death. My ex-boyfriend, he died of an overdose while still pregnant with our son. And before, I would be drunk, to deal with it because I didn't know how to deal with anything. And then last year was like the first year since like it actually happened that I was sober and I was at a conference. And like this year, like this time of year, always like, I don't know. I'm always like in my head, like stir crazy. Like I don't know what to do. Um, but I was able to like reach out to like my network, right? And like tell them, hey, just so you know, this is what's going on. If you see me, like not going to class, you see me calling out of work, not showing up for class, not being of service to AA, like you need to hold me responsible and like call me out. I'm not trying to isolate, or slack on my program at all, because I know that if I do that, then my entire life will fall apart. Like my school has a very strict attendance policy. I have to show up every single class. And if I don't, I fail the course. And if I don't go to meetings, if I'm not helping, another alcoholic, if I'm not applying, the steps and the principles to like my daily life, then none of that is going to continue to stay in my life. And I know this because I've seen what happens when I stop working a program. It's like day 7 and I'm still wearing the same sweatpants, the same shirt, and there's like dirty pizza boxes all over my room and I haven't talked to anybody in a week. And that's happened to me in sobriety, like last year. Um, and I know that like that's a sign for me that like I'm in danger of potentially going out. And so now I like try and not to do that. I try to balance everything, but I also try to keep recovery at the center of my life. Because I find that when I do, everything else just falls into place exactly the way that it's supposed to. My mom knows. She has custody of my son right now. She knows that I'm coming up on an anniversary next month. She's seen the changes in me as a person over the past, couple years. And I just spent a week straight at her house, which I didn't talk about it tonight, but at 2 months sober, she kicked me out of her house when I was homeless. And I was homeless for about 4 or 5 months. That same woman let me live at her house for a week just because gave me a house key to, that I can come and go as I please, which is amazing. That it's just crazy to me because I never thought that I'd be allowed back into my mom's house the day that she told me to pack my stuff and get out. And like all of that is a result of staying connected, deeply rooted into, the program of AA. Anyways, I'm going to shut up because I really like to hear what you guys have to say. And I'm currently in a Walmart parking lot, and people are looking at me. So I'd like to just listen and like turn my light off. But thank you so much for letting me come out, for letting me be on here and share some experience, strength, and hope. Just a quick plug, we hope to see you in Alexandria, Virginia for Whiskey Pod, July 5th through the 7th. Okay, I'm done.